Hey guys, BKRose9 here, giving you another IPDL Season 3 Week 8 matchup against the Pathetic Pichus and Coach Saigai. So, Coach Saigai of the Pathetic Pichus right now is 6-1. Off the top of my head, I do not know the differential, but he is rocking a really tough team with Mega Sceptile, Stack Attacka, Rotom Heat, Florges, Vaporeon, Pangoro, Tornadus, Girafarig, Scolipede, Cofagrigus, and Mamoswine. Oof. So, some big things to kind of wrap around the head. He is a very powerful special attack type team. Speed, there's a bit of holes, but it is what it is because it is Saigai. Usually he likes to prep more defensively, but in this case it does not look like, with this team, it doesn't look like it's as defensive as this other teams. And really the big threats here is Mega Sceptile. Mega Sceptile, I believe, having 14 kills, so something I've definitely got to watch out for, because his Sceptile could pretty much wreck my team if I'm not cautious. So, here's our team. We have Flashfire, the Charizard X, running Flare Blitz, Rock Slide, Dragon Claw, and Roost. Now, a big thing here, sorry, is Flare Blitz pretty much ruins his team. It ruins, not only kind of weakens down Sceptile, but it also can weaken things like Tornadus. It can knock out the Scolipede, knock out the Mamoswine, if it's not thick fat, and can pretty much take Cofagrigus down to half if physically defensive. I forget why Rock Slide was for the Rotom Heat. It's also hopeful for the Tornadus if I decide to predict switch-ins. It could flinch Scolipede. Well, actually, thankfully not really, because we are not a Dragon Dance type set. We've also got Dragon Claw. That's also kind of for the Sceptile since it's neutral against Flare Blitz. But running Roost because I know rocks are going to be it's kind of a big deal against my team. So, next up comes the Melodic, aka Calypso, who is going to be running a Flame Orb Marble skill set again because it's a beautiful set. Running Scald, Ice Beam, Recover, and Toxic. Ice Beam, big thing for the Sceptile. If we do get a Flame Orb, if we do get our Flame Orb up, I believe we do live one Leaf Blade. If he decides to go physical, he does knock us out if he is special, which sucks, but I decided to run more of a bold nature, mainly because his team is very physical. His only specially offensive mons are Tornadus, Vaporeon, Florges, Rotom Heat, and Sceptile. Of course, any of these could be offensive. It would be really a shock to see offensive Vaporeon and Florges, but it's Saigai. He's unpredictable. Go watch his videos because, yeah. I'll link his YouTube channel down below if you want to go see that. Anyways, next up, we got Batsy, the Black Sludged Crobat with Infiltrator. Big thing on Infiltrator, he has Florges, which could pretty much set up screens when needed. Girafarig can also do that. He's got, I believe Kofa can also do that. So a lot of things can run reflect light screen. Mamoswine can, which I found out last week when watching his battle live. Which kind of crazy. But basically, one of the big things that I'm running Infiltrator for I'm running Brave Bird, Taunt, Leech Life, and Cross Poison. Taunt this week is for the Vaporeon mainly. Mainly plus the Florges, because I cannot deal with Toxic, Wish, Protect, just all that. So this is basically a stall breaker, if you want to say. Brave Bird hits a few things really hard. Leech Life is kind of just to gain HP, and Cross Poison, the one thing that can actually probably screw Florges over. If we do face off against a +1 Scolipede, we live any hit that it gives, even a Rock Slide. Which same for Flash Fire if it's Mega. We live 1 Rock Slide. So next up, we got Katsugu, the Life Orbed Zoroark, running Dark Pulse, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, and Focus Blast. Sludge Bomb, big thing for the Florges. Good for trying to get poison damage on Vaporeon. Obviously, I really think Vaporeon comes here. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't think he was gonna come, but I was prepping just in case. Basically, Focus Blast for Pangoro, Mamoswine, Sludge Bomb for Sceptile and Florges. Flamethrower basically hits things really hard. And Dark Pulse is the big check to Cofagrigus. So if Katsugu goes down, go down early, we're gonna have a hard time. But just gotta relax, make sure everything's all right before we try to sack this thing. So next up, we got Jackie Chan, the Assault Vested Hitmonchan. A little new. I decided to run. So Throat Chop, Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Ice Punch. Throat Chop to a defensive Cofagrigus does about 32. I believe that's just the mid roll. Ice Punch for special attacking Sceptile, which I think he's gonna bring. Mach Punch and Drain Punch just gets damage on anything that I need to, and of course Throat Chop again for the Cofagrigus. And finally, we have wired up our Electrium Z Xurkitree, running Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Hidden Power Ice, and Thunderbolt. Big thing to key here. Why am I running Dazzling Gleam and Hidden Power Ice? Well, and don't worry, because I know this is basically Mega Sceptile checks. Well, Dazzling Gleam hits Pangoro really hard, and if he tries to switch that in for predicting Hidden Power Ice, we can instantly kill that thing. Basically brought Electrium Z for Vaporeon or Florges, whether they want to run Protect or not. So also hits Cofagrigus pretty hard. Believe a 2-hit KO. And T-Bolt pretty much just kills Tornadus. Energy Ball can do damage to Vaporeon and Mamoswine if he decides to try to switch there. And that's gonna do it for the team prep. Let's get on to the game. Oof, I cannot hit buttons today. So, he does bring the Sceptile. I honestly did not think he was gonna bring it, but if he did, I had to be well prepped for it. He didn't bring Kataka, didn't bring Pangoro or Tornadus, so I'm like, what in the world is this guy doing? He does bring Scolipede and Cofagrigus. I didn't think Scolipede really had a big matchup, especially because I have Mega Charizard. Because I have Zoroark, even though Zoroark isn't really a big check to this thing. But also because I have Crobat. So it is what it is. So with that out the way, let's get on to this match. So I decided to start out with Katsugu here. He does go into this thing, and I predict the Protect and go into my Flash Fire. He Baton passes into Cofagrigus, and we hit a huge Flare Blitz. This tells me that he is most definitely defensive. and Rocky Helmet. So, I go into Katsugu here, and he realizes that this is definitely Katsugu. I debated on, here, let me slow it down real quick. I actually did debate on going for the Sludge Bomb, but I didn't want to risk anything, like a Hex or something, so that was screwed up. Things that I want to mention here as well on this in this chat. I was shaking. I was legit shaking, and so was he. I don't know why he was shaking, but he said he had a bad team. I was like, bad team? Where? Like, against me, he actually had a really good matchup, especially with Megasceptile. So, it was really confusing why he thought that. But, no, I was overthinking a lot in this match. And some of them, wow, okay, that happened. Anyways, what I was saying was that I tend to overthink some moves, and I was voice chatting with I think it was Tepic. Yeah, Tepic and Gallo while this was going on, kind of thinking, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do this. I was legit going crazy. So I kind of gotta give props to Saigai here. He's a great battler. What can I say? So we're on the Sludge Bomb. That shows me that he may run a bit of special defense, and I just decide to Saxing. I get the poison, which is very fortunate for us. He kills us with the Moonblast, and Katsugu is revealed. So, what does this mean against Kofa? Seeing how much the damage did for Mega Charizard, I was okay with this. Sadly, I shouldn't have been. So, I go into Batsy here. He goes into Rotom. My play 1,000,000% was just to cross poison. And now this shows me that he is a defensive Rotom. So he was running pretty much all defense in the world on Rotom. But after calculating this, it looked like he wasn't running as much defense as I thought. He was running about a good 190 whatever. Anyways, so he gets up to Toxic Spikes, which are there to stay, sadly. He protects. I Brave Bird, just thinking that he was going to do something else, like set up another spike, attack this thing. He Baton passes into Rotom Heat, which, interesting. So, he goes for the Brave Bird. I decide just to stay in. So, I go into Flash Fire. He Volt switches. And the Rotom's going to switch into Autopsy. So, seeing this, I was like, he's already low. I'm not going to do anything. So, I decided to stay in. The one thing that kind of screwed me over here was letting him get that Toxic Spike up. I should have actually went to Melodic to get up the Flame Orb. But, nope, I wasn't that smart. So, I go for the Gigavolt Habit, predicting the Protect. He takes almost half, which is good by me, because now I know that I can kill this thing with Thunderbolt. Well, he Baton passes into his Mammoth Swine, and I predict that. I predict that, because, yeah, it was obvious. Energy Ball, I kill that thing. We are now +1. We are going to kill lots of things. I hope. And I only say I hope because Florges comes out. I Thunderbolt it. That thing doesn't die. He wishes instead, so I'm like, okay, I guess that's fine. He does have Protect, because what Florges does not have Protect besides my own, and he lives to see another day for one more turn. And so, what happens here is I go for the Thunderbolt again. My computer just almost dropped, whoops. And I get another Beast Boost, but I am in free range to die to a special Mega Sceptile. And speaking of the Witch, guess what? He is not. He is full-on physical, which screws up my Hitmonchan, because I predicted so hard that he was going to be special. I predicted so hard that he was going to be so many things. He switches into Cofagrigus. I went for the Ice Punch. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So, my calc said that this kills if he was what he was. He was running a little more defense than I thought. And this kills me. So at this point, I'm thinking it's game over. It's game over. GG. Because it basically was. He had Protect. I wish that Infiltrator broke through Protect. That would have been pretty sweet. But I get a little more HP than needed. Go for the Cross Poison, predicting Rotom to come in, but he just sacks this thing. So goes into the Rock Helmet. Well, basically dealing us damage. I legit needed a crit here. No crit. That's gonna be game over. So, yeah. Specs, I believe, or Scarf. No, he's not Scarf. Sorry. Specs, I believe, and doesn't do it. So, Calypso comes in, kills the Rotom, and that is going to be game over. So I feel like I could have done, and in the chat I didn't say GG because I already said it up there, and I was kind of like, I couldn't breathe because that match was down to the wire. Saigai, you brought me to my limit. You actually brought me to my limit, and I praise you for that. Thank you. It was a fun battle. I think the one thing I could have done better was predict more, because we could have had Florges dead about 3 turns earlier than needed. We could have had this dead by this many turns and such and such. I didn't expect Sceptile to be physical. Looking at my paper, its physical is 110, so it's good. Just didn't expect it. I felt my team was actually more... My thing's just hanging itself. Anyways, I felt like it was more just down to what needed to happen. How the turns would have went out. If I didn't let Toxic Spike get up, I could have sent in Melodic. Melodic would have had Flame Orb. We would have been fine. But it's fine. Good game to Saigai. We fall to 4-4, -3. Now, what does this mean for playoffs? We are 5 weeks away from playoffs. Our next opponent is Tepig of the Austrian Audenos. I almost forgot the country that it was. Anyways, so it's going to be a great game. He is racked up at 4-4 +4, I believe, which, odd enough, it's crazy. But basically, we need to win. We are a game up on playoffs against Jazz and Flygon, who actually replaced Leafy. Basically what it is we can't get first place unless Bryn loses. He is 6-1 right now. 7-1, I believe. But yeah, that's basically it. We just gotta win. He's gotta lose, and Bryn and Jazz have to lose. That's basically it. And we can't lose. So, with that being said, thank you. If you liked this video, please hit that like button down below. If you want to see more content, hit subscribe. My neck is killing me. So, I'll just say this. Comment down below your favorite Stalmon, because as much as I hate Stalmons, I feel like Chansey is one of my faves. Is a beautiful mon. And until next time Miku wins, peace out.